Alright, so I wanted to do this video to kind of give a sailor's review of MarineVerse Cup and just hopefully answer some of the questions that I had as a sailor prior to purchasing this game. I actually bought my MetaQuest 2 specifically for this game, so I'm someone who is just a sailor and is new to VR and certainly new to this game. So hopefully I can answer some of the questions, and if I can't, hopefully you all will post them down in the comments section so that in a future video I can address them. So this is kind of the screen you first see. There actually is a splash screen before this, but this is kind of what you come into. In this video, I just wanted to focus kind of on the boat, what you can do, what you can't do, in terms of adjustments, kind of how it feels, things like that, and not really get so much into the game stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Maybe in a future video, I will get into some of kind of the menus and just functionality of the game itself. But for now, I just want to talk about the boat and how I feel sailing it as a sailor. So we're going to jump right into the free sail. So we can just kind of cruise around on the keel boat. There also is a dinghy. It's a laser. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it on the keel boat. And I'm not sure why I spawned kind of off-center, if you noticed that. Whoa, look at that. I've actually never seen that before. Wow. All right, so... All right, so this is it. So this is the keel boat. So let's actually get underway, and then we can kind of talk a little bit here. So let me just go ahead and bear off, and we'll just take her out on port tack, and then kind of just talk about some of the controls. So let's go ahead, just turn a little bit. All right, good enough. So here we are. Yeah. All right. So a couple things. What can you interact with? What can't you interact with? So there's really only three things in here. So we can interact with the helm. We can do it here. I think you can also steer you can also steer with the controller in your hand. I like to steer with the helm personally. I guess that's the wind shadow of that. Okay. All right. So, all right. Yeah. So you can interact with the helm. And then you can trim in the main and the jib. You can also with the controller, so like the left-hand joystick trims the main, the right-hand one trims the jib. You can also trim. Looks like some. Is that in real life or this game? I have no idea. It's actually raining out where I live. So, all right. You can also trim the jib with the winches. I hardly ever do that because it's just not particularly realistic. But you can do it. You can interact with the jib and the winches. You can also interact with the main with this winch. I've actually never been on a keel boat that has this type of winch. Obviously I've seen them on bigger keel boats have one of those. So I never really use that. I just use kind of the main sheet and controller here. Which again, for a keel boat, that's not necessarily unrealistic. If you're at the helm, somebody else is trimming the main and the jib, so you wouldn't necessarily be interacting with that anyways. But unfortunately, that's about it. We don't have any outhaul, we don't have any downhaul, we don't have a Cunningham. You can see that there is a boom bang there, but we can't interact with that. Backstay, top and lift, none of that. There's no cars for the jib. Actually, it's just the sheets. There's no. Actually, there is a car right there, but we can't interact with that. At least I don't. But there is a pretty good amount of detail. You can see the boat's got a traveler back here, the main sheet, backstays, and actually, this is how you move around in VR. By the way, at least in this game, is you click on these things and it moves you. It's pretty cool. It actually, it moves you. Now we can look back at where we were. We can look behind us. You wouldn't want to actually walk around in real life because you could hit your shin or walk on a wall or something like that. So again, there's a good amount of detail. These blocks here that you can't interact with, the boom that you can't interact with. Your hand just passes right through them. We get our Windex up there, or masthead fly, as some call it. Go ahead and go up on deck here on the port side, and we go about to the bow. Like I said, pretty good amount of detail. You can see there's a decent amount of spray coming up here. We get a sprit. I don't know why it's off-centered. I think it has to do something with the way I set up the game. Or I guess Okay. All right. So there's a bowsprit. You can see the drum here. The roller furling to the jib. On the side here. Back here at the mast. Yeah, back here at the mast. Again, decent amount of detail. Look at the gooseneck, boom bang. You see our instruments here, or down there, I guess. This block. You got the telltales. Those are the only telltales. If you look back at the here, if you look back at the main here, there's no other telltales in the main or the jib. And I don't know why the offset is off. So this controls it before. Alright, I don't know what that line is, if it's like the end of the world or what. Alright, let's just talk about the boat dynamics and the physics a little bit. Like I said, we got a decent amount of spray here coming over the leeward rail there. Let's go ahead. I guess if you go over that, it takes us, I don't know. Alright. Let's just, oh jeez. Alright, let's get back underway again. Let's bear off here. Get back on, I don't know why I'm on port tack today, but bear off on port. And one interesting thing, let me just get up some speed here, and I'll just tack it around onto starboard. Let's trim in a little jib there. Alright, pretty good. You can see the speed over ground there. Windex there. Alright, oh, one cool thing I did want to show you guys, actually I'll show you this once we, let me tack and we'll come down wind and I'll show you. Give me a second. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tack. All you have to do to tack here is turn the helm. You do not have to release the jib or anything like that. However, once you get on the new tack, and you might have noticed it there, the jib is like luffing. So as soon as you get on the new tack, you do have to trim in. So that's kind of realistic, although you don't have to release on that side. You do have to trim in the working sheet once you get on the new tack. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring it downwind a little bit, and actually this is a perfect place to show you this. So one thing that's pretty cool, and this comes up a lot when you're racing in this game, is like as you look down, you can like, you know, you can, you can see under the sail. So like if I'm like actually kneeling down in real life to be able to look under my jib and see that buoy. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, when you're like racing in this game, you're like looking under the jib to see the mark. Those grid lines you saw there, if you're not familiar with VR, that's to show you I'm near like a safety border that I created for myself so I don't like walk into a wall in real life. So let's go ahead and bear away a little more, bring it kind of dead downwind here. And one question I had before buying this game, actually posted on another YouTube video, is about the chute. So the chute just deploys when you get dead downwind after like a boat length or two. When you're going dead downwind, the chute deploys. There are no controls, there's no guides or spinnaker sheets or anything like that interact with the chute. It simply deploys once you're dead downwind. You don't have to do anything to deploy it. I don't think there are any settings to be able to interact with it or anything like that. That's pretty much everything I wanted to show in this video. I guess the only other thing I would comment on is, it's pretty cool, is when you turn your head, like the sound changes. So like when I turn my head, like when I'm looking this way, I can hear the water in front of me. When I turn my head this way, I can hear it like in my left ear, like at this side, and I can hear it kind of behind me, which is actually a pretty cool feature. That's some realism to it. Alright, so it's pretty much all I wanted to go over in this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm actually going to go ahead and I guess I'll drive from the low side a little bit here, and trim in, head up a little, and yeah, there we go. Perfect, head up, bring it back upwind, and yeah, thanks for watching.